There's the real place again. Very interesting design of this place.
Man, I had such a great time on this movie. My God, every day. I mean, we really. I mean, to shoot is honestly to shoot this in this universe. It is grueling. It's a lot, but it's so much fun. It's just the highlight of my career, and that goes without saying. But so great. And now this moment right here, it's just a light bulb goes off, and he remembers. And that was, I was going to say,
Neil, when you see him later, he has a full beard, and he has no, I'm sorry, he doesn't have a full beard, but he has
long hair
and a mustache, and a lot of whiskers, and that was his real hair. That was the one time in the movie it wasn't the hair and makeup department, and then we had to shoot that. I think we had to shoot that first, and then all this other clean shaven stuff. Scott helped out a lot with his look, making sure his hair was kind of high and tight and nice and clean shaven. So you really can't tell the one guy from the other, in a sense.
Yeah.
We got a very bittersweet thing coming up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My God, I just
Robert Forster.
Robert Forster. I mean, just such a old school, classy, just Hollywood gentleman. You know,
gentleman. That's the word for him. A gentleman. Yeah, absolutely.
Never once left set. When he
Is
was
that
called,
true?
Yeah, when he was called to set, he was there from the beginning of the day till they were done using him. You know, he never left set. He was always there. What a beautiful man.
Because I wouldn't have known that story, because I'm always leaving the set to go be with
eat a hot dog and
eat a hot dog, be with my masseuse. I'm using the finger quotes here. Yeah.
This I had so much fun reversing and just that quick little thing. I took such joy in that.
That was a badass driving move you did there. You come sliding in.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah, it was great. It was fun. The line, the van shaped like a kidney bean. It's just so perfect. But what a just a classy guy. You know, he was able to before he passed.
We didn't know he was sick. I'm not sure he knew he was ill at this point, but we certainly didn't.
No, it was he kind of found out, and then it was just a quick, my God.
God bless him.
Yeah, look at him.
And God bless Marla Gibbs. How great is it having Marla Gibbs in our movie? We love Marla. She is something. She and her daughter were such wonderful, happy presences. Presences, is that a word on the set?
Yeah.
So nice having them both present. They were so upbeat and cheerful, and we just loved having them on the set. And
I may take you up on it. Excellent. If I can get my niece to help me.
And Marla, I don't think she'd be mad at me to say this. She is older than she looks, and she is in such amazing shape. And she worked out in the gym, I was told, at the hotel every morning. Mm-hmm. Every morning she was there. She is, I bet she could whip my butt. But she was such a sweet lady. It was such a pleasure working with her. And, of course, with this gentleman, Bob was the best. Broke all of our hearts when he passed. Yeah.
You know, I was able to speak to him. He called me, and I'm so happy. I was on a layover, and my phone rang, and it was him. And he had just watched El Camino.
Oh my God, he saw the movie?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I did not know that. I didn't.
Oh my God,
I was afraid he had not seen them. I don't know how I missed that, but I
truthfully, and I talked to his family. Truthfully, no joke. The pure fact that this movie existed, they believe that kept him around as long as he was around, and he saw the movie. And he talked to me, and I don't even know if I should be even saying this, but he passed only a couple hours later.
Oh my God! I knew you had talked to him, and I've met his family. They're all wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't know how I missed the detail of he had seen the movie, because I was afraid that at that point he wasn't able to focus on it. But I can't tell you how happy that makes me.
I'll tell you more of the conversation another time. But yeah, he's just what a beautiful man,
beautiful guy, just the best.
Yeah,
he just always. I've said this in other interviews, but he just always reminded me of Spencer Tracy.
Yeah,
just that kind of an actor. Just plants his feet and says the lines, but means them, and he just believe him.
He refers to films as pictures.
Yeah, I love that.
I love it so much. He's like, I was a part of this picture when I was your age, and it's so beautiful.
He was like back in he starred in the movie Medium Cool, directed by Haskell Wexler in 1968. And he was a heartbreaker just like you are. He was a good-looking man. He just he had such an interesting career because he could have been an absolute heartthrob, but he kind of he marched to the beat of his own drum, and he took the jobs that interested in him, and he just but man, what a great actor.
I remember my parents actually were on set this day. And the first take we did, my dad just is laughing so loud, so inappropriately loud, and obviously every single mic in the building is picking it up. And it's just so. I go, Dad, you can't laugh. We're recording here. It's so funny that people that aren't used to being on set, they don't really think about that stuff. It's so funny.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it's just so honest and pure, and I honestly thought it was great as well. And it's just it's so nice.
I think it's on a piece of. It might be on a deleted scene or something. Where
maybe the blooper reel. Yeah.
Dad, stop laughing.
Dad, we're actually filming this.
Dad, you're embarrassing me.
Classic Dad.
Awesome.
No, he's great.
Your dad's awesome.
And he's both my parents are just obviously such huge fans of yours. For really giving me a career and saving my life, really.
God bless you. This is a furniture store now. This is obviously the real place we used on Breaking Bad as the vacuum store. And at that time, because we didn't have all the money in the world, it was a vacuum store, and that's why we chose it. It now is a furniture store, and the gentleman who runs it, he and his family, great people, let us come in, move all the furniture out and redress it like it was years ago on Breaking Bad, and repaint a bunch of it. And it was fun being in there. I really enjoyed it. And I think coming up here when he talks to the police, I think the character of Ed, played by the wonderful Bob here, I think he gives the real address of the place, because I think that was okay with the owners. And if you're in Albuquerque, go buy some furniture from these folks. They're good people.
Yeah.
And that's, you got close-ups. You got to have real money. I guess 50s or whatever. You got to have the real money and close-ups. Otherwise, you'd see with this level of detail this imaging system picks up, you'd see it was fake. This was a big deal figuring out how to stack all this money, right? It was. Yeah.
It just, because there's just so much of it, and it needed to be timed out, and it was It's so funny, man. The details that people watching don't really understand. The process.
I worried about it because I thought just what you said. You got to unstack this stuff, and you got to do it within a certain amount of time. Otherwise, the scene will go on much longer. Yeah. And I worried about it. I needn't have worried because you two figured it out, and I got to go eat another hot dog, and you guys figured it out.
And it's also continuity. You got to.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
you got to have the same amount of money on the table. During certain lines.
That's right. Otherwise, when you cut from one shot to the other, there's a big mismatch, and people notice, and they say, "Well, that was a mistake. Those idiots."
Yeah, those idiots. Can you believe they did that? How embarrassing. Yeah.
And that's the real world out the window. Those folks were coming and going and didn't even know you guys were in there acting your hearts out. That's all those cars going by out the window were just folks going about their business. You guys are so good here. I love how emotional this is. I love how properly emotional Jesse is here. And yet, for his part, Ed, the disappearer, he said, this is not, if you're trying to pull at my heartstrings, you're wasting your time. I love how matter of fact he is here. You made your own choices. He plays it so perfectly.
Yeah, he's like, it's not my issue.
Yeah, you are not a victim. If you're a victim, you're a victim of yourself, which is an interesting wake-up call. Because, I think it's debatable. Jesse certainly chose a life of crime, but I think he redeems himself over the course of Breaking Bad and the course of this movie, and he deserves to get away at the end. But, boy, he pays for his crimes. He sure does. Yeah. So this coming up here, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's just so genius. It's like in his head, he goes from, I can't believe you're doing this to, oh, I know what he makes up this story in his head. He's like, oh, I got it figured out. He's like, oh no, you don't do that. That's not how it is. They won't let you do that.
I love the way you play. This is one of the rare moments where a little bit of Jesse's, the fun Jesse comes through. You stay perfectly in the proper headspace for where he is at this moment, but there's just a little bit of fun sneaks through here, which is, you are not being funny. The character's not being funny, but it still makes me laugh the way this stuff. I love it. You're so angry, and yet the anger is funny.
He's like, I can't believe you are even trying to fucking pull this one on me, man. Yeah, look at it.
I love you're still wearing Skinny Pete's hat, by the way.
Did he ever get that? Did Charles? Charles, does he have one of those hats? Because if not, he should. Because that's his outfit. He always had that thing on.
Yeah, but that would keep me from selling it on eBay and making a profit.
Oh man,
that was the first time we ever saw his head. Yeah, his bare head in that scene way back. That scene,
and when he goes, "Why are you doing this?" and his response was just so. When I read that, it just hit me in the gut. He's like, "Because you're my hero and shit."
He's so good.
Take your money.
I love the way he played it. And so the guy on the left is Carlos Sepulveda, who is an actor, nice fellow, very talented actor, and the guy on the right is Simon Drobik, Officer Simon we call him, who is a real Albuquerque Police Department officer, and he is our technical advisor. He's our technical advisor ongoing on Better Call Saul, and he was our tech advisor on this movie. And he also does a great job playing an Albuquerque police officer. So it was fun putting him on camera here. And I think he's on camera briefly in Better Call Saul in one episode.
And I think it's fun to note that everybody who ended up auditioning, a lot of these actors, it was probably straight offers, but the people that were auditioning had no idea what they were auditioning for.
Very good point. I'm glad you brought that up. We had a lot of fake sides, we call them, which is a scene in script form, but from a whole different movie. Stuff that was written up, just sort of Greeked up, so that people wouldn't know what they were auditioning for. You're exactly right. Yeah. And because we just went through. Here's Mom and Dad again. But to finish that thought, we went through a great. We went through an awful lot to keep this thing secret. Yeah.
We did a damn good job. I didn't say a word. I kept my mouth shut until the bitter end.
You did a great job. As did the people of Albuquerque. God bless them.
Yeah, very true.
This is interesting. Mom and Dad, Tess and Michael, they're so, as you were saying earlier, they're so good seeing them on the show, seeing them in the world again.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, the interior of this house is not the same interior that we used in Breaking Bad. When you see the exterior of the house coming up here, that's the real exterior from your house in Breaking Bad, but the interior of that house that we also used in Breaking Bad didn't really work for us for the movie. So this is a whole other house in a whole other part of town. But it matched up pretty well. Maybe some discerning viewers will notice the differences, but I wouldn't have been able to pick it out myself, honestly.
I love this scene. It's really him saying his goodbye. And
that's true.
And he kind of he lets them off the hook a little bit. He's like, "Look, this isn't on you. This is all me."
I love that. I'm glad you said that, because he's scamming them, but I don't think the scam extends to the heartfelt things he says to them. I think those are
right.
Real. Yeah. But he is scamming them to get them out of the house. But yeah, he means it. He means it. And this is part of Jesse growing up, I think, and maturing, and which we're watching on camera as we watched him grow up throughout Breaking Bad, and this extends that. But this is down the street. There's the real house, or I should say the Breaking Bad house exterior that Jesse grew up in from the original series. And this was there's a hedge or like a decorative plant or something up there to hide the fact that it has a brass plate on the front of the house there, talking about how historically important it is. It was built in I don't know, the teens or something, or maybe even before that. Maybe it was the 1890s or something like that. But it's a beautiful old house, and the lady who owns it is very sweet lady. And this was a long night, as I recall.
Oh my God.
Yeah.